I'm sorry, I can't recognize people behind the mask. So you are also one of the readers, because I know you are a very good reader being a teacher. And by the way, my mother was a teacher. Okay, thank you. Nomi, is Nomi here? Nomi, whom I met yesterday, she had signed up through Framboards. Okay, no. So then we have some additional speakers, like our former town moderator, Terry Banerjee. Where is she? Oh, she's there. So she has wished that she wants to speak. Then we have Debbie Clark, the pastor. Oh, again, the mask. So this is good, and I will, with this, before I start with Mikala, I just wanted to announce one more thing. Those who know, I used to run a program called Bystander Intervention, and I have plans to reintroduce that, because we are getting lots of complaints about harassments in the groceries which are open now. So I'll be starting that bystander intervention. And then a mural project requesting house owners to let their houses be painted with African Americans who have been killed, including the gentleman in Framingham. We are waiting for some people to actually come and let us give some houses. And then, of course, some people have asked me what is the difference between Black Lives Matter and Movement for Black Lives. So Movement for Black Lives is a overarching organization, and Black Lives Matter is a part of that. And like Black Lives Matter is basically saving black lives from police brutality, whereas Movement for Black Lives is more overarching, like supporting black-owned businesses, supporting African Americans in the school system, etc. So now, coming to the actual event where people have been waiting for, I want to invite Mikala to come and introduce Frederick Douglass.
Want me to hold that, or you?
No, I will.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. Before I wanted to introduce Frederick Douglass, I just quickly wanted to say that
Can't hear you.
That in 1750, Crispus Attucks ran from here, right where we're at right now. He ran away, and in 1770. Let me get this. Can you hear me now? You can hear me now? All right. So in 1750, Crispus Attucks, the first man to die in the Revolutionary War, he ran from Framingham. For 20 years, his owner, Robert Brown, I believe was his name, was putting ads in the paper looking for him. He had gone and become a whaler in Nantucket. And on docking, he, you know the rest of the story. I just wanted to mention that. It's right here. So, Frederick Douglass was an amazing man, was an amazing human being, in fact. He was born into slavery in 1818 And he wasn't even sure when he was born because they didn't really tell slaves when their birthday was. But fortunately, slave owners kept miraculous records because it was business. At 6 years old, he was put in charge of the master's child, so he was put to work. In his teen years, he worked in a big house and then moved to Baltimore and became I guess a ship caulker. And then he ran away and got to New Bedford, where his wife met him and they got married, and he got involved with abolitionists. From there, he started his own newspaper. At one point, things were so hot, he had to run away to England. And all his friends and abolitionists, they put together their money and purchased him from his owner and then gave him his freedom, because that was the only way he could come back and not be subject to getting picked up on the streets. When the war started, he helped start the 54th Massachusetts Regiment of black soldiers. He helped do that. And then he was an envoy to Haiti. So he didn't die till 1895, but he worked up until his last dying days. And this speech, it's an amazing speech. So let's get to it, okay? Thank you, folks. I'm a little nervous. Hi, Mr. President, friends, and fellow citizens. Hi, Mr. President, friends, and fellow citizens. He who could address this audience without quailing sensation has stronger nerves than I have. I do not remember ever to have to appear as a speaker before any assembly more shrinkingly, nor with greater distrust of my ability than I do on this day. A feeling has crept over me, quite unfavorable to the exercise of my limited powers of speech. The task before me is one which requires much previous thought and study for its proper performance. I know that apologies of this sort are generally considered flat and unmeaning. I trust, however, that mine will be not so considered. Should I seem at ease, my parents would misrepresent me. The little experience I have had in addressing public meetings in country schoolhouses avails me nothing on this present occasion. The papers and placards say that I am to deliver a 4th of July oration. This certainly sounds large and out of the common way, for it's true that I have often had the privilege to speak in this beautiful hall and to address many who now honor me with their presence. But neither their familiar faces nor their perfect gauge I would have of Corinthian Hall seems to free me from embarrassment. The fact is, ladies and gentlemen, the distance between this platform and the slave plantation from which I escaped is considerable, and the difficulties to be overcome in getting from the latter to the former are by no means slight. That I am here today is to me a matter of astonishment as well as of gratitude. You will not, therefore, be surprised if in what I have to say I evince no elaborate preparation nor grace my speech with any high-sounding oratorium. This little experience and with less learning, I have been able to throw my thoughts hastily and imperfectly together, and trusting to your patient and generous indulgence, I will proceed to lay them before you. Woo.
Oh, that was great.
Thank you, sir.
That was great. So, as soon as you come over here, I'll give you a copy of this. And there are sections marked 1, 2, 3. So I'll read out the section number. When I read out the name, I'll also read out the section that they will be reading. And one thing is the last section, that is section 27, that will go back to Mikala. I hope you're not leaving, right? That will go back to Mikala, and that one will be all reading together. So that will not be just reading like we read the entire paragraph, but reading one line and then follow after me. So now it is windy. And you will read section 3. Do you want any hand sanitizer?
Yes. That's sunblock. Sanitizer's on
This
the
one.
other side. There you go.
Yeah, you can put it here as well. You want to wipe this? Yes, yes.